Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning into real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing insights that you won't find anywhere else.
Oh, wait a minute. We need some coffee.
Make your coffee to perfection. Expect nothing else. Do you like to make yourself a hot cup of coffee to start your day? We have both whole bean and grounded. Also great for all you iced coffee if not a hot kind of person. Even make yourself a frappe to quench your thirst. The best tasting coffee with espresso. It's only $18.99 plus taxes for a 12-ounce bag. Buy 1 to 5 bags and shipping is only $7. If you spend over $100, shipping is absolutely.
Good morning and welcome to Ken and Ken in the Morning. This fine, freezing, cold Friday afternoon. Well, at least if you live in the state of New York, where they got 3 million feet of snow. Well, I'm down here in Brian Urlacher weather, meaning it's only 54 degrees.
Hey, enjoy your fucking hurricanes there, guy.
Hey, I didn't get any hurricanes this year, man. I'm good. I was hurricane free. Good morning, Fred. Yes, they do need more than coffee, but you know what the problem is, Fred? I can tell you what the problem is. They're not drinking the right coffee. They need to get themselves a nice big bag of Bear 6 Actual. And actually, the commercial is going to be changing because we've got new bags, which look even better than the ones that are in the commercial right now. But and I'm waiting for that. I need to order some Bear 6. I'm drinking Task Force whiskey this morning. Hey, I only drink my coffee from veteran-owned roasters now. Well, a single veteran-owned roaster. So,
well, you know who really could have used some coffee last night?
You know what? Where does my list start? I mean, look, we say, hey, this could be a good game, right? The Rams just had a huge game, and the Niners put up, both teams put a bunch of points last week, and here we come to Thursday night football, and it's like, got your field goal kicker?
My old man, before every game, always asked me what he should bet on for me doing all the podcasting stuff. He asked me what I thought about this game. I said it's a coin flip. I don't trust either team. They're way too inconsistent. I wouldn't touch this game. And lo and behold, it turned into a snooze fest.
Pensman was probably going, but they said there was going to be good football today. We got 2 good teams. We were lied to. Yes, Campbell needed the coffee, Fred. Everyone needs the coffee because he quit. He left because he didn't have any Bear 6 Actual military veteran roasted coffee in his vein.
So, speaking.
Good morning, Eric.
All right, sounds good there, Rob.
Yeah, morning, Rob.
So, speaking of the quitter, Devondre Campbell, the man that talked so much shit about the Green Bay Packers once he left, I'm never playing with an injury again, because if you don't live up to what their expectations are. They take it out on you without taking the mitigating injuries into it. And they're trying to force you to play and this and that. It sounds like anybody's got to force you to play at all. Are you kidding me? Who the hell quits on their team in the middle of a freaking game besides AB? But at least AB had his brains knocked out of his head by Vontez Burfict. Devondre Campbell apparently just has no freaking guts.
Hey, good morning, Don. Good morning, Philip. Good morning, JB. Yes, John, you do need a cup of military roasted coffee. It is cold out there in the northern parts of Wisconsin. And the funny thing is about that, Ken, is like, dude, you're paid like $1 million plus to play. I'm like, here's the thing. I saw a couple articles this morning on it, and I'm reading, and I'm like, okay. Did anyone talk to him? Did any reporters get a comment? No. Like, why did he just decide to leave? I mean, was he just mad because he wasn't getting playing time? Which is what I think it is.
Exactly why it was. He was mad that Dre Greenlaw got put in there, and he thought because I started all year long, I started all year long, I should be starting now too. This is unfair. Except for the fact that Drake Greenlaw was one of the absolute best linebackers in the league and had been with the team for years.
There you go, Philip. Hey, I got a whole set because I was the commander at the time. So the retention guys, every time they brought someone in for me to sign a document for, would bring me, the sweet Army loot. So I got me a bunch of mugs and other. Hey, being a commander is a good thing because they need you to sign shit. Hey, sir, we'd like you to accept this guy in your unit. Oh, let me see if I have a spot. Oh, I don't know, guys. Well, we got you a coffee mug, a backpack. Oh, I'll sign right here. It didn't work like that. But they always brought me stuff. That's how I got a bunch of these.
Quit lying, Ken. You told them I ain't signing shit till you bring me stuff.
No, actually, I hooked my guys up, man, because a lot of people when they see the Army recruiters, they usually drive those really bad, government cars, with the Govy plates. I'd like, forget that, dude. Are you? You got your Humvee license here. Why don't you just sign one of my Humvees out and take that and park it in front of the school and watch the kids flock to it like candy? And they would. And so I was a force multiplier for my recruiters and my retention buddies. So they took care. I took care of them. They took care of me. And we took care of the Army. The Bears coffee is so good it won't leave you hanging in the wind like Hernandez. Oh my God. Campbell showed why the Packers didn't re-sign him. Yes, he did. Look at that game. And by the way, there's another player. Well, he's not cut yet, but he's gonna get cut, right? We know the Niners got to cut the guy after that. Guess who's a free agent this morning? A certain wide receiver with ridiculous hand skills.
You're talking about Kadarius Toney?
No. Odell Beckham Jr. and the Miami Dolphins mutually agreed to a release.
Oh, see, here I thought you were being facetious about the hand skills.
The Duke. But you know what the funny thing is, though, for like last 2 or 3 years, and look it, I've said this before. You've heard me say this before, right? OBJ is the Mark Pryor of football, right? Because Mark Pryor, after the 2003 and 2004 seasons, right, where he was the phenom pitcher for the Cubs, he hurt his shoulder. And then for the next 10 years, got paid $1 million a year from multiple different baseball teams to rehab the shoulder. And he never really pitched in the majors again at all, but got getting paid. OBJ keeps getting contracts every year, 3, 4, 5, 7 million to do what? He hasn't done much in the games. I mean, the thing is, though, the guy is still ridiculous, right? Like, he can catch. Like, just convert him to a tight end at this point. He can be slow. But the dude you put anything near him, it's like a magnet. The ball just goes whoop.
But do you really want Odell Beckham lining up against linebackers? The first hit he takes from one of them, he's going to be in ICU for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be kind of obvious what he's in there for. But, man, I'm not surprised that that they did this mutual parting of ways. But you know what? I won't be surprised if he gets on another team by the end of the week. I mean, or by the next week. I mean, he just finds a way to get on rosters. Hey, more power to OBJ. Gotta love the dude maximize. People talk about Kirk O'Chain's winning in free agency. No, man. OBJ is winning in free agency. He's always finding a way to get teams
What
paying money.
is he's got dirt on some of these teams' coaches, GM, something like that, and he's making them sign them because there ain't no way in hell. Because
I got seen Joe Rogan on my
together by shoestring and bubble gum.
No, he goes, I got Joe Rogan on my speed dial, and he's going to release some stuff on you if you don't sign it. Phil says, as a company and battalion commander, I always supported my recruiters. One of the reasons I was on. I'm telling you, man. See, you get it. I got it. You'd be surprised how many of our brethren as commanders didn't get that and would resent the fact that they had recruiters coming around and even the retention guys who usually was someone within your own unit. And you got the guys who that's what they do, right? You'd be surprised, Phil. You would be surprised. And I would catch flack one of my battalion commanders because I would let my recruiters come and sign out vehicles and I would do events with them. But then the cool thing with that is my soldiers benefit because then they have special events like parades, premieres of stuff going on where recruit army would be involved. My soldiers get to go for free and get to be involved and they get to go hang out with the Jacksonville Jaguar cheerleaders for a day. Because we already did so much with the recruiters, they had a thing with the Jags. They said, hey, give me you got a couple of your soldiers want to come do a thing with the Jags and their cheerleaders? I'm like, I got a couple single male soldiers who would love to do that. And it pays off. It pays off. OBJ should go to Green Bay. They could always use another wide receiver 2-3 to add.
Hell no. I don't need the walking wounded.
No, OBJ will end up in Detroit. Oh my God, it's Santa Claus. Oh wait, no, it's Rob.
Oh no, that might be Santa Claus. I've never seen Rob and Santa Claus in the same place at the same time.
That's right.
Hey, not only that, we got Santa Claus with the rear view mirror because now we can look in the rear view and be 20/20 hindsight. But bump.
See,
I
thought he had to put the rear view mirror on the sleigh because all the drones flying around now.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I saw that.
One drone got shoved up Blitzen's ass, and it was never right after that.
Dude, I'm waiting for someone to start shooting these drones down that people are seeing over airports.
Wait, hold on. You're waiting for it? They already are. Some either crackhead or meth addict, some guy that was tweaking his mind off, not too long ago, just got arrested for shooting the drone down because he thought it was a UFO. And if you think it's a UFO, I'm just going to play devil's advocate here. You really think a regular rifle is going to do anything to it?
That's a good one, JB. I haven't seen Rob and Satan at the same time either. Coincidence? Oh, hey, but it reminds me of Independence Day, right? Los Angelinos, please do not shoot at the alien spacecraft, or you may start an intergalactic war. Like, come on, guys. No, I mean, look at OBJ. Will he get another contract? I don't know. Will Campbell get another contract after the stuff he just pulled in San Fran? Who is going to sign the guy? The Raiders?
Okay. No.
Was that true? He quit? He just quit on the team?
100%. He grabbed his helmet and he walked his little baby ass back to the locker room and said, I'm taking my ball and going home.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we got Rob on here, I was holding this other piece of news for Rob because he lives in the great state of Texas. Jerry Jones has not ruled out not only bringing McCarthy back, but giving him a new contract. And he stated this in an interview. So it's not like some reporter just making crap up. They might do this. No, Jerry got on a podcast or a radio interview of some sort. It's him speaking. Said that he has not ruled out. He goes, look, this is a Super Bowl winning head coach. He's got strength of character, blah, blah, blah. Lists all these great traits about him. And a lot of people around the league, even before Jerry said that, had the belief that McCarthy would not get fired in Dallas at the end of the year.
Okay, somebody needs to take Jerry and give him an MRI or a CAT scan because he's apparently had a stroke.
Isaac, he submitted his application, and I think they're waiting on your IRS approval. So, but no, Jerry Jones is there going, I'm not going to fire. I might not fire McCarthy. He didn't say he's not going to fire him. He just said he has not ruled out bringing him back or giving him a new contract. He likes him. He's high on him. He likes McCarthy. McCarthy's his dude.
That's because McCarthy's an ass kissing suck ass fuck man. So glad we got rid of him.
Oh, absolutely. Especially since he's pulling the same shit he did in Green Bay down in Dallas, where he's ejected from the team and doing whatever the hell he wants. Apparently, when he's taking these breaks away from the team meeting, he's going up and providing some hand service to Jerry Jones.
I look. I mean, I was a little surprised by it, and then I'm not. I mean, when you listen to what Jerry said, right? Like, Jerry, you're not wrong. Yes, he's a Super Bowl winning coach. Yes, he might be, instill high moral character into the players. He might have these attributes. That's great, but he can't win you football games, or he's not winning you football games. So, like, I get where Jerry Jones is coming at, but at the same time, it's like, Jerry, you can be all these great things and just not be a right fit for the team that you have now, unless you're planning on tearing it all down and building McCarthy another team, which worked so well the first time. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know how you can see the results of this year with all the freaking anticipation and hype that they had and want to bring this guy back. You won the division the year before. You kept most of your talent, and you can't get out of your own way this year. You got to be kidding me. Every coach on that staff should be fired. There might be good coaches on there, but them as a collective suck.
But you know what, Ken? I mean, like, it's funny though, as you make the argument, hey, we won the division last year. This year we just can't win for losing, right? I mean, look, there's something to be said about just getting dumb luck, like bad luck, right? Like, we're just for whatever reason, not in your control. They just get your number. Things aren't going well this season. So, I mean, if your data set is 2, which it's not, but let's just say it is in this case, and you were division champs last year, and this year you're just in a sea of an ocean of issues, right? And everyone's going, well, geez, what it is. I mean, I can understand. I mean, that even makes, in a way, almost make the case more of why Jerry wants to keep it. I think, well, let's see which one is the truth. Is it the division winning season, or is it this season?
I don't know. This combined with all the massive playoff collapses that they've had, I think that should be the writing on the freaking wall. That this guy had all these talented teams that, they lost in the playoffs, but at least they did real good in the regular season. Now they ain't even doing that shit. Why the hell is he even there?
Sounds like Packer coaches.
Yeah, he was a Packers coach. That's why he's gone.
Well, I said coaches.
Hey.
I mean, no, I'm not making that as a slam on the Packers. You can say that about Dan Campbell. You can say that about Kyle Shanahan, who at least gets the Super Bowls. You can say that about any NFL coach who hasn't won you a Lombardi in the last 10 years, but has made the playoffs 6 or 7 times. Right? I mean, that's a reality thing there. There was a comment from Dorn I wanted to read.
There's definitely an argument for keeping Mike McCarthy.
Dorn says that Jones should give him a 10-year deal.
There's definitely an argument for keeping Mike McCarthy. Like, I'm not saying that they should. I'm not saying that they should keep McCarthy, but like Ken said, he was in the playoffs last year, right? And then this year, Dak got hurt early in the season. Like, you're rolling the corpse of Ezekiel Elliott out there week after week. Like, you have no other receiver besides CeeDee Lamb. Like, these problems weren't able to address these problems in the draft. It's really, I'm not going to say it's McCarthy's first losing season in Dallas, but I don't remember him having too many losing seasons in Dallas. So
I mean,
I'm not saying they should keep him. Keep in mind, I already said that, but I'm just saying there's an argument to be made for giving
Bro, he
another.
gets them 12. He's got them 12-5 a whole bunch of times, and then dies in the playoffs. That's the problem with McCarthy.
Oh no,
I mean,
believe
fuck.
me, you heard me say, like, I'm not saying they should keep him, right? I'm just saying
Yeah,
there's an
he's not,
argument.
man.
But,
He's
but
not the
Rob,
guy.
that same argument, and real quick, JB says Goodell should have Jerry removed as GM due to incompetence. Unfortunately, as long as the Cowboys keep raking in the dollar bills, that would never even happen if that was even within his reach to do. But here's the thing, though, guys. I mean, a lot of coaches win 12 games or 11 games a season and make the playoffs and don't win rings. Like, shall we say, even Green Bay under Matt LaFleur, you know, uh, the Vikings win 13 games, go out in the first round. I mean, look at the fact there. I think it's more they make the playoffs. After that, almost every coach is the same issue. Like there's only like a handful, like maybe 2 or 3 coaches in the league right now that you can see they go to the playoffs, they consistently win, right? All the other coaches, they get to the playoffs and they lose for the most part. I mean, that's the reality of it. I mean, look at what's going on in Pittsburgh, right? Yeah, he has a winning season every year, but when was the last time the Steelers went to a Super Bowl or even sniffed it in the playoffs? But yeah, we love him. I mean, so I mean,
There is starting to be a bit of talks about the Steelers might be wanting to get rid of Mike Tomlin.
yeah, we heard that last year, and then they had a winning season. And look,
Every
Steelers
year.
fans are brutal. Steelers fans are brutal about it.
That's what the difference is that these coaches are ending with a winning season. When you see these guys that are constantly getting knocked early in the playoffs have a losing season, most of the time we end up seeing them fired at the end of that losing season.
I mean,
Hey, man, 6-9-1. That's what the year they caught him. 6-9-1.
I mean, you look at like some of the like. I don't know. I mean, I guess you get the playoffs enough. Eventually, you'll break through. Maybe that's look at Steve. Look at Carroll. Carroll went to play how many times as a Seahawks head coach until they finally broke through and got to the Super Bowl. I mean, I get the argument that Rob makes there, and it's the valid argument, right? Like the dude gets the playoffs and like, but like, look how many other coaches do that, and we don't use that argument necessarily with them. We don't use it with Tomlin. We don't use it with Stefanski. Well, he hasn't been in a while, but I mean, Shanahan. Even though there were some groans about Shanahan because they're saying he can't win the big game, but yet he gets.
Yeah, but
there's a lot of groans about him this year.
Gets the Super
yeah,
Bowl.
this year a lot of it, man, against Shanahan and Tomlin.
And it's going with what I was saying. You were having your exits from the playoffs, and then your first losing season. That's when that fire heats up.
Shanahan's safe. I don't think he's going to. They went to the Super Bowl.
I'm hearing too much rumblings to say that he's safe. I'm not going to say it's a foregone conclusion that he's out, but it's definitely in the air.
I would say the odds of him going are very, very low because, I mean, this happens to teams that go to the Super Bowl the next year. They get the Super Bowl slump, but the guy gets you to Super Bowl. He gets you there. Not many other coaches can say they get their team to Super Bowl multiple times in a short time span. He can. I mean, and the second you fire Shanahan, dude, he's going to have a job within 3 days. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
He's a great coach. And San Francisco knows he's a great coach. I don't think they'd fire him. He gets you to Super Bowl. The problem is this, and this is the problem with fans. And fans are great. Love fans. Without fans, we don't have what we do. But here's the problem with fans, right? Well, you get the Super Bowl twice and you lose twice. Well, it has to be the coach. We must fire the coach. Dude, the coach is what helped get you there and put the talent in places to win. So, but we blame the coach because we don't want to blame our players that we love. We don't want to blame Brock Purdy or George Kittle or Greenlaw getting hurt or any other factor. It has to be the coach. The dude got you there. That's like, why do you think they don't? Baltimore doesn't do that with Harbaugh. They kind of stick with Harbaugh because they know what he is.
There's a difference with Shanahan. He was on a totally another team in charge of an offense and completely blew it too. So there's a little bit of precedence with him.
The Atlanta game, some people blame the defense, though, too. The defense just let Brady run all over it. I mean, but I get what you're saying, though. But, I mean, dude, how many coaches can say they took the team to 2 Super Bowls within 5 years? Besides Shanahan and Andy Reid, who can say that? That's coaching right now.
I like how you put the caveat of that's coaching right now. because there's a certain man that just entered the college rankings that had quite a bit of a lead on that.
Yeah, and shifting over to Belichick real quick, there's some grumblings on Bears Twitter. Oh, they should at least call them. Dude, no team in the NFL called them for a reason. That's what they want to tell Bears fans. They said, well, the funny thing is, I love when they write these articles. Well, he might not have been a good fit for the Bears, but they should have called him. Why? If he wasn't going to be a good fit, why waste your time calling the dude?
I think what the sticking point with that one is that
it's ownership don't want to give. I'm telling you, coaches like Belichick want power.
Yeah,
and if the ownership ain't going to give it up, I mean, they hired Warren for a reason so that they can fucking control that dynamic, and there's no way they're going to give it to a coach who wants more.
That's what I was going to say before my mind stroked out there.
Well, yeah, and I said it yesterday, though, right? Every coach that wants, I said that yesterday.
I got you, bro.
Every coach that wants to do that ends up not coaching, right? I mean, every coach, like Parcells was another great example. Well, Pensman, real quick, says the Steelers don't fire coaches. But you know what? The Bears don't fire coaches in the season for 105 years until they just did. So, but look at Pittsburgh's had basically 3 coaches since 1968. All of them have gone to Super Bowls. All of them have won Super Bowls. The Steeler way kind of works too. So I mean, going back, going back full circle to McCarthy with this. I mean, you give McCarthy another 2-3 years, maybe he takes the Cowboys to a Super Bowl, and so I get it. I mean, I think the mindset is if you look at the ownership in Pittsburgh, you look at what maybe Jerry is saying about McCarthy, you look at how Shanahan, they're treating that situation in San Francisco, kind of like Pete Carroll when he was in Seattle. They're not bad coaches. They're good coaches. They win a lot of football games, right? Getting to the Super Bowl is really freaking hard. It's really freaking hard. So, why do you jettison a good coach and then have to kind of go with the question mark coach if you've got a good coach? I mean, I get the argument.
I think Shanahan gets a pass this year because of all the injuries that happened. They're playing with literally about half of their starting team. And Ayuk got the ACL early in the season. They never really had a chance to hit the ground running because of the injuries. I think that gives Shanahan a pass for this year. But I think I definitely think there's the pilot has been lit under his seat. Let's say that the pilot has been lit. It may not be a full blown blaze, but if next year if they start out the same way, that seat's going to heat up.
I mean,
and I don't think Pittsburgh's going to fire Tomlin, man. Like they've been talking about firing Tomlin for the last 7 years, dude. Like ever since Big Ben retired,
And there's another good. JB makes a good point, right? Dallas, they're having to hire coordinators. These teams get these two he hires great coordinators, and then 2 years later, he's got to find more coordinators. And eventually, you kind of run out of coordinators. Drew Quell gets a little dry of the people you know and trust, and now I have to go, well, I hear there's Team Joe Rogan out there as a coordinator. I guess I'll have to give him a shot. And that happens, right? So, look, it's going to happen in Detroit. They're probably looking for 2 new coordinators after this season, right? How's that going to affect their head coach when they don't do as well next year with 2 new coordinators who maybe aren't as good as what they're is leaving? So, it's not just the head coach, it's the coordinators and all the support staff underneath that give that. But the head coach, is still the head coach. But look at Tomlin. Look at the teams that keep coaches long term. They have long-term successes. And they eventually do find their way into a Super Bowl. And this would be something JD might love to do because this is about to sound like a JD kind of thing. Statistically speaking, how often does a guy like Tomlin get to the Super Bowl, like all these wonder kids that we hire every 3 years to take over teams? Look at the coaches with longevity: Harbaugh, Tomlin, McCarthy. How many Super Bowls have they been to compared to all these wonder kids that we hire? They keep hiring. Why is it that all the successful teams all have coaches that have been in place 6, 7, 8, 9 years?
Yeah, true. But I have to disagree with JB though. He said you can't use injuries as an excuse. At the end of the day, man, coaches coach, but players play. And when you're playing with half your team is your backups, I'm sorry, but a team that has their full strength is going to be better than you. Like, it's just that's a fact, man. Like, I get the whole next man up philosophy and stuff, and that works for a while, like a band-aid, but like, come on, man.
Yeah.
The Niners lost
There's a
so
there's a
many of
reason
their
your
good
second
players
stringer's
this year
second stringer. Yeah.
that
There's a reason, a total reason why they're
Yeah.
second stringer.
exactly. Like,
I mean, I
if,
like
if second stringers were good players, they'd be starting. Like,
Look, Pensman's got it right. Yeah, you got 18 winning seasons, Tomlin. You're fired. I'm sorry. Good run. Yeah, that's not happening, man. I mean, and like Harbaugh, you know, he keeps winning in Baltimore. They're not going to Harbaugh. You mean get a sniff of them disgruntled about Harbaugh really in Baltimore, right? Because they know he's going to win. They're going to win games. He's a good coach. I mean, so Jerry making the argument he makes, I get it. Because look at overall, he wins a lot of games in Dallas and makes Jerry a lot of money.
Look at that.
Like,
you freaking say that and you drive Rob off. Come on.
I know.
I was
What is
just
it,
going to say,
Storm?
what timing,
Jesus.
right? He happens to leave the second that hits the screen.
Campbell says you're only 100% on day one of training camp. After that, everyone gets banged up. Yeah, that's true. But the problem is, though, Michael, and this is what Joe's saying. And it happened to the Bears this year, too, with the O-line. You have your plan, right? The enemy always gets to say. General Pat, great quote, right? You have your plan, and then the injuries hit you, and then you find out that your second tier is your second tier for a reason. Like the guy you signed to be the backup might be a great rotational guy who's good for a series here, a series there, but not 5 games starting, playing every down. The Bears found that out with the O-line. San Francisco's found that out with their backup. Every team finds that out with their backup. Sure, you can get a backup quarterback to come in and be successful for 2 or 3 games. We see that all the time. Packers had that this year. Bears had that last year with Bajent when he came in for that little stint. And then everyone's clamoring, oh, these backups are so good until the tape comes out on them. But when you're talking like linebackers, edge rushers, linemen, corners, safeties, 9 times out of 10, they're backups for a very good reason. There are very few cases where, like, you do get those spots where the battle is real and it's 1A and 1B. There are those cases out there, right? But by and large, not so much in the NFL, which is weird that there's such a huge gap between the starters and the second stringers in this league at so many position groups.
Oh, yeah. It helps.
And that's why I think Shanahan will get another year because they were hamstrung from the beginning of the season,
Well, the Niners have another piece to that hamstring, right? And part of it was the front office kind of didn't help the team out with the way the contracts and all the stuff that went on off the field. Definitely affected them early in this year with the camp and the first couple games on top of the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
They were
you had the drama with Brandon Ayuk, right? And then Debo pushing the long snapper, like trying to choke him. Like that, to me, that's a bigger concern than the injuries is what's going on in that locker room. Like, because after Debo choked the long snapper, it's like you haven't really. Now you got what? Devondre Campbell doesn't want to go into the game. Now it's like you had Kittle. I read the article last night on ESPN. You got Kittle and Charvarius Ward coming out saying they don't ever want to play with Devondre Campbell again, that they hope he never sees the field again because of what he did. Like, there's some beef going on in that locker room, dude. Like,
yeah, he's gone. He's got to be gone. Ken, you had something?
Oh, I don't freaking remember now.
Look at Ken has early. Well, I won't even say it.
I should go for it.
No, that you're early onset of Alzheimer's already.
I worry about that sometimes, to be honest with you, with the way my mind will randomly blank out at some points.
And JB's going off all this stuff about you guys just got good backup. I mean, that's what happened there. You guys got good. Your backup performed really, really well. That's not the norm in the NFL. The Lions, their backups have performed exceptionally well. Which is not the norm in the NFL.
Let's see if the Lions backups play as well next year. Because the Lions, the Lions are kind of a special case because they're on a mission this year, dude. Like they're on a roll. They're motivated. They they tasted success and they want that Super Bowl. Like, I think this year is an outlier, like in that sense that their backups are playing out of their minds, but can they continue that next year? If the Lions have injuries next year, are their backups going to be as good? Who knows? Like, maybe. I'm not saying they can't. I'm just saying NFL history kind of tells us that it's not sustainable. It's like an interim coach that comes in and wins 5 out of the last 7 games, right?
Yeah.
But then the next year he goes 4-13, right? Like,
well, it's like in the Bears
hard to
secondary.
sustain that.
We've lost Christmas week 5, and the backup playing exceptionally well for Christmas. So I mean, you do get cases where you get a 1A, 1B kind of option back there, but in a lot of cases it's 1 and then 2 is way off. There's a big drop off, especially on the good teams it seems. But then sometimes you do get the 1A, 1B, and Detroit has a lot of 1A, 1B, which says a lot about the talent they brought in. But they're more the exception, not the rule. And hey, oh my God, look at this! It's a Falcons fan.
I was gonna say we mentioned Shanahan and look who shows up.
I heard it. I had an internal hearing. So I'm like, yeah, my bell's ringing. Let me hop on. No, I got out of work early. The fucking snow up here, man. It's just it was storming in Syracuse. Like,
hey Joe, do you know what the snow thing is these guys are talking about?
Yeah, I lived in Vermont for 1.5 years, so I know all about it.
We don't see that stuff here. I don't know what they're talking about. Snow,
dude. Oh, up in New England, it's crazy, dude. It'll dump 3 feet in 24 hours sometimes.
I do not.
Here, let me.
Snow in Chicago. I am so happy. But hey, you get a snow day.
Oh, I loved it.
That's what I'm driving.
I like New England. New England was nice, man.
Not as well.
Upstate New York was really nice.
Oh my God.
I love to see football games in the snow, though.
Oh, I hear you.
That cold shit is just not good. And then you're standing outside in like negative 10-degree weather. That's bad right there.
Well, not if you're at home watching a game on your 70-inch high-def TV. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
I live by the lake, dang it.
There you go.
One of the great
Dorn's like, hey, Dorn just told you to hold his beer because he's going out in minus 24-degree weather to go hunt.
Yeah, but he's got a pack of the hot hand stuff down the front of his underwear, so it doesn't count.
No, Dorn just does like the Revenant, and like once he kills a deer, he just guts it and crawls inside the flesh.
Yeah,
crawls inside the warm deer.
Coming soon to a shop near you, Dorn jerky. Well, I see what you're talking about, Ken, about cell phone signal in your area.
I
Hey,
told
Dorn,
you it was fucking
Dorn,
terrible.
when you kill a deer, do you take a bite of the raw liver?
Well, he's got to repair his liver somehow, Joe.
Yeah, all that moonshine gets to you. You got to hook a deer liver up on a pole, kind of like an IV, and you can use it like an external hard drive, but it's a liver.
You know what? Like, this just reminds me of something, because you guys just got dumped on snow. How many snow games are we going to see this week?
I would love to go up to northern Michigan and see the lake effect.
Let me see how many snow games we got. Okay, we just had Rams 49ers. Vikings is in a dome. Titans, they're not going to probably – they do get snow in Nashville, but I doubt it. We're going to get a big snowstorm. Ooh, we could get it. Ooh, Chiefs-Browns. That's going to be late. That's a lake effect game snow there they get. There could be some snow there in Cleveland this weekend. That's a dome. Panthers is not going to snow in Carolina. It's not snowing in Houston or Jack. Ooh, the Giants game could be a snow game with the Ravens. That's a dome.
Yeah, this close to Christmas, the Giants-Ravens could be a snow game.
That's a dome. The Broncos game, I think the Broncos are supposed to be like 50 degrees. So I doubt they're getting snow at Mile High. I think they got warm weather. Cardinals is a dome. You get snow in the Philly game. Ooh, Steelers, Eagles in the snow. Yeah, baby. Oh, the Seahawks game, mate. Well, they don't really get much snow in Seattle, do they? They just get rain.
Yeah, they do get snow in Seattle, but I'm not sure if it's this early in the year.
Yeah, but I mean, when was the last time you watched a big snow game where in Seattle, dude? Usually the way Seattle sits is weird. They get rain and everything above them gets snow. It is weird how they operate there on the coast there, but
I remember Sean Alexander running in the snow quite a bit.
let me go back to where was that game? It's like, ooh, this could be fun. Let me check the weather in Chiefs Browns. Where they seeing the 40 degrees, light rain, 17-mile-per-hour winds. So it's gonna be cold as fuck. Ooh.
Yeah,
And that kicking game,
Packers
and that kicking game is going to be rough.
Yeah.
The kicking game is going to be rough.
All right, let me see the Giants game where the 37 degrees overcast with 7-mile-per-hour wind at MetLife is what so there could be snow because I mean it's 5 degrees. I mean that's a quick shift. That game could be a snow. I like watching that Bills game a couple weeks ago. Oh, that was so much fun. I love watching that on TV. I am going to miss that when basically the entire NFL is a dome, but because there is something to be said about snow games. But I remember the Fog Bowl in Chicago, the Ice Bowl. I mean, some great outdoor games as a Bears fan growing up. I remember Bears Packers game, in December, whether it be at Soldier or at the high school place they've got up there in Wisconsin, Green Bay, at Lambeau, with their winning high school, with their high school.
You're not about to disparage the stadium bleachers there.
Yeah, the bleachers. There, thank you. But some great games in cold weather. I am going to kind of miss that, but I get why the NFL moves away from all the other revenue.
That's why it's great that Green Bay is owned by the people and not an owner. We will stay an open air stadium. We will probably be the last holdout.
Probably. No, I mean, well, maybe the last holdout in a cold weather state.
I mean, where it actually matters.
Right, like
I don't
Miami.
care about Southern California or something like that having an open air stadium because that you might as well have a dome at that.
But LA doesn't. LA's a dome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can open up a whole end of it.
I can't see them getting rid of. I can't see them getting rid of all the stadiums for domes though, because snow and rain, like that's part of the game, dude.
Yep.
Like,
yeah,
and it's a part that fans enjoy. Like it's that once in a while thing where it's like you get that super monsoon game like the Bears and the Niners a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Or you get the Snow Bowl game, like that's a big part of it.
Yeah, but I'm starting to hear rumblings that Buffalo might be going to a dome.
Yeah, I mean, look at Lucas Oil. Lucas Oil is really the stadium that changed a lot of things in the NFL. People don't give the Colts any props for anything ever. But if you look at Lucas Oil, it was one of the first stadiums where the whole side of the stadium opened up to be open air. The roof doesn't, because that was the thing with domes, right? We could retract the roof. Arizona, Dallas, stuff like that. But now Lucas Oil we're going to open up the side. Look how many of these big dome stadiums, SoFi, AT&T, they can open up. They open up the side, one of the end zones now, and that's become the thing. We'll have an end zone that we can open up, so you can still get the cold air, fresh air, whatever you want to call it. But we don't have to deal with the rain, the snow, the sleet, blah blah blah. And if it's too bad, we can close it. This way we can sell more beer. I mean, I get it though. Like seeing a game in Cleveland in December with lake effect snow, or in Buffalo. Oh yeah, it's great to watch. And the fans that go to the games, they suffer through. I've gone to cold weather games in Chicago. I mean, dude, the hot cocoa guy. Oh yeah, hot cocoa and the coffee guy, because they never have a coffee guy, right? All of a sudden in December, there's a coffee guy at the stadium. It's like they didn't have a coffee guy before, but okay, why? Because it's hot. And they didn't have the cider guy. Like all of a sudden, there's all these hot drink guys that never existed before in the stand.
Yeah, well,
and they're making a killing, dude.
In Green Bay, you don't got to look for that guy because you got John Dorn sitting next to you with a bottle of whiskey, saying, "Hey, you want a slug?"
Oh yeah, you don't know how many. Yeah, the spike cider guy, the spike cocoa guy. I mean, the spike coffee guy. I mean, but the dome though makes sense. Like, why is Chicago going to a dome? Well, now I can get a Super Bowl. Now I can get other events that I'm going to make a ton of money on, like I can get a WWE, event, WrestleMania event. I can get an Eros tour event. I can get whatever the big, yeah. I mean, look at that. I had a hard time saying because Taylor Swift concert, but she generated over $2 billion on that tour. But I mean,
That's a lot of money.
At all.
but dude,
I was gonna say Colts usually generate a lot of money.
but I mean that's why they're going to these stadiums because they become multi-purpose again, and you can use them in January and February when you have nothing else going on. But you know what the irony is? The NFL
In
is
January and February, a lot of teams are still in the playoffs and fighting for their seeding. So,
well, no, 26. Well, about 20 of them aren't. But you know what's interesting though is as the NFL is going more towards dome, what's the NHL doing? More outdoor hockey games.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed that. I don't know why though. Like I don't get why.
There's something about watching a hockey game at Wrigley Field that's just different. There's something about going to Buffalo, that big ass football stadium with 3 million feet of snow around you, watching an NHL hockey game. You know what I mean?
You won't catch me in Buffalo in that snow.
But it's hockey. You think it'd be an outdoor sport anyways because it's hockey. There's just something that allures, and the way the NHL is done, it's great. They do 2 or 3 outdoor games a year, and they make a big spectacle out of it. I mean,
I don't.
The Winter Classic. I mean, it's classic now. But it's funny at the NHL, like those games, fans love it. But now the NFL's like, we're gonna take everything indoors.
I know a lot of hockey fans because my boss is a very
I think they should
actually work with Robbie Shrimp's cousin, but I don't know. Hockey just that don't make no sense to have hockey out. I don't know. It just
no, it makes perfect sense. They should have all hockey games on a frozen lake.
Yeah, fuck out of here.
I want to see that because at one point, one part of the ice is just going to be a little bit too thin. They got one of the guys is going to hear that cracking. You're just going to see them.
No, that's when they all start fighting.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. Time out. Luca, listen to this statement, guys, and get ready to laugh. I hate bad weather games. As someone who actually goes to the games and doesn't stay home, you play in a dome, Luca. You don't have
Luca. You're an adult. You shouldn't hate bad weather games. Just don't go to them.
Number 2, one of my greatest memories, if not my greatest memory of going to the Oakland Coliseum, it was pouring down rain, and we were playing Kansas City, and we were losing 10-0 at halftime, and Jacoby Ford takes the second half kickoff 96 yards back to the house, and the Raiders ended up winning that game. We were soaked, dude, from head to toe, and it was one of the best days I ever had, dude.
Did you get sick the day later?
Wait. I'm
No?
not done with because Luca's been on a roll getting everyone, especially you, Joe. So I'm not done with Luca yet. And Luca, when you do go to non-home games, you end up in a suite like you did in New York. It's not like you're ever sitting outside. So you're either in a dome in Minnesota or in a box suite inside with all the free food, Luca. And
popping champagne.
Wait, Luca's not done. He doubles down. $1 billion stadium just for 8 or 9 games makes no sense. Exactly why they build it, because then they're getting Taylor Swift, they're getting WWE, they're getting Monster Truck Rally, they're getting national conventions for political parties, they're getting all kinds of other events, generating tons of revenue, and they make that money back within 2 or 3 years, Luca.
And the domes can hold, if a natural disaster happened. That's what a dome is for.
Where's a mic I can drop on Luca's head after that one?
Luca's just mad because he has to watch the peons be cold from the luxury box.
Let them eat cake. There's Luca. So great. I mean,
can we do something about all these cold people? They're affecting my game experience.
I know.
That guy shivering down there is making me cold. Can you kick him out?
Mike is saying, I've sat through plenty of bad weather games at Michigan Stadium. Now that I'm older, I appreciate the Dome Stadium.
You get the more your bones get chilled. Shoot.
Yeah, Brent says like Mystery Alaska is how they should play hockey games. That would be hilarious. I mean, look, I get why the NFL does it. It's a cash cow. It makes money, but I do miss the cold weather games. I mean, they're fun to watch. I've been like, we've all been to some bad weather games. Yo, I mean,
Do they hand out ball warmers at Lambeau?
especially considering they're
It's like
sitting on
a heated cushion that you can put under your nuts.
well,
on the
Joe,
bleachers?
considering they're sitting
They're
on
cheap hand
steel,
warmers.
on metal, they have to sit on metal,
No.
right?
See,
They're sitting on aluminum.
that's why we have these things called stadium seats. And hold on, I'll go grab one for you.
You know what the problem is, Joe? Look at Joe. Lambeau's the only field where I have to tell the fans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They should be handing out free ball warmers at Lambeau. I imagine by the third quarter, you're pretty cold.
Shoot, what do you mean? End of the first quarter, you got to be chilly.
Sitting on the.
Oh, look, he's got a
See,
seat.
this is
warmer.
why they make these sons of bitches.
A green seat.
It's in your green screen, player.
And look,
Okay, I see the white. Okay, I can see it.
Just something else the Packers can charge you money for.
They also hand out free ones at the opening gate. Granted, they're not as nice as this one, but they got you covered.
What's up, Brent? Oh, a lot of things are good. We got players refusing to play in games.
The Packers are marketing geniuses. I mean, they managed to convince a bunch of dopes that they own the team. You know, like
hey,
they sold them a $300 piece of paper
Joe,
and like,
Joe,
hey,
why'd you
go.
do that, Joe?
Shut your damn mouth.
He's an owner.
Ken, I'm surprised you haven't framed that.
This frame.
Oh, I can't see
There
it.
you go.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, see?
I'm trying to
Look,
find where the
Joe.
camera actually wants to pick it up.
Yeah, it's
Joe.
not picking it. There you go.
Joe, don't you know he's got to go to the ownership meetings here in a little bit?
No, those are in the summer.
Oh man. No, but they're marketing geniuses, dude.
Yeah, I guess
I
the
mean,
only time you want warm beer is in February in the stadium in Green Bay, right? In January you're outside. Oh, yeah, make sure my beer's a little warm so it's not frozen by the time because you know those videos we see when they throw the water in the air and it's ice by the time it hits. That's the temperatures they're playing in Green Bay. So they hand you the beer before you get to sip it. It's a beersicle. Wear a wetsuit under your cold weather gear. Yeah, that works. That works. But see, look at here's Luca. Let the simpletons wear clothes. I'm wearing a wetsuit under mine.
Dorn says just drink your beer fast before it freezes.
Yep. Either that or a lot of every one of us is either an 80s or 90s kid. We all have had push pops in our lunch boxes before. We know how to eat a frozen beer.
Speaking, Brent, for the other Brent, both Brents were late today. Campbell from San Francisco, linebacker, refused to play in the third quarter. He said, "Well, I should be the one playing, not Greenlaw." And he's like, "I'm done," and basically just refused to go. He literally refused to go in the game.
Yep, and walked off the field and went back to the locker room. Took his
Pulled an
ball and
AB.
went home.
However, unlike AB, he's probably not going to be able to go on X and make $250,000 a year just a shit post on X. He's not AB.
Hey, Michael Huck had a great comment. Great comment.
Yes.
The beer shush.
Getting designer bags for Christmas.
Oh, geez, that one.
You know, Mike, I might have to use that one now.
But what if we get like that? Like she's like, that's not Gucci.
Y'all got problems.
No. See, this is why you got to go with the old Chappelle method and get some Botox down there and shave them. Oh my God, those balls are smooth as eggs.
And we
God,
way back
with the Gucci tattoo, and then you hang a $3,500 price tag off your wiener.
Yeah, baby, it costs that much. Oh Lord,
Designer
man, that's
bags.
terrible. Fucking Mike, I like that.
We got some good games this week. Don't forget, tonight we have the Frozen. Speaking of Frozen, the Frozen Thunder Network at 7 p.m. Central, Ken?
Yep.
Eastern, yep. And then tomorrow we got open mic night, same time, right? 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern, correct? I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we've got Red Zone Rant at 10 a.m. Central, 11 Eastern on Sunday. House Hall. We will be doing a House Hall, even the game's not until Monday at 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern for pregame. And then, of course, we're back next week. I will be gone a couple days next week. We got medical appointments for the hip the hip surgery recipients in the house. She's been breaking land speed records throughout the house the last couple of days. Let me tell you, she is mighty fast with that one. So yeah, we got a bunch of stuff coming up this weekend. Some good games. I know we're going to be talking about hopefully some good weather games. Though, I mean, I know some fans don't, and I know why some fans don't like the bad weather games. Oh, because if you're a speed team, it takes away your speed. Blah, blah, blah. But they're so much fun to watch. I mean, last night was kind of a snooze fest because of the rain. And the offense is good, but it was a running game. It was a good.
I was going to say, I wouldn't blame the rain for it being a snooze fest. I just blame the teams for being so freaking up and down.
Well, we went snowmobiling.
I turned that game off in the first quarter.
Wow.
No, it's just I don't know. It was too slow for me. I'm used to seeing like Puka and like just bang, bang, bang and everything like that. I'm just like, I'm not really down with this game right now.
Speaking of Puka, Jim Nantz made a wonderful comment on that helmet catch that he had against the San Francisco 49ers player's helmet. He goes, and Rodney Harrison is having nightmares now.
Hey, you know the weather's bad when the injury card is a snowmobile.
Oh,
or they have to have a Bearcat on the sideline.
They got Huskies pulling it.
oh
Mush.
bang, 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 bang. Yes, Isaac.
They can't even get like a wheeled cart onto the field. They got to use like a travois.
I'll tell you, all the bad weather games. So the hardest one and I watched that one at home. I wasn't at that game. Was the Fog Bowl? The Eagles Bears playoff game. Like even on TV, you couldn't see it. I can only imagine if you had nosebleed seats. You're like, well, I see a dense fog over the field. I think they're playing. What it's like. I don't understand how you watch that game in person because you could barely watch it on TV and they're field level with cameras, right? And you got these guys up the nosebleeds. How did you even see that game? Oh, I was at the game. Okay, but could you see any of it? Yeah.
We're going back to 1940s football, just listening to it.
He's going down the field. I don't see him.
You know what? We haven't had one of those. We haven't had one of those fog games for a while, dude.
Long time.
Those fog games are fun.
So I can't see the ball hit in the face. Like
yeah, like nobody knows what's going on, dude. It's like, did he catch it? Did he not?
You run into your what's it called? Your teammate when you're trying to catch the ball. You're like, and he goes, bam. You're like, what the hell was that? I couldn't see you.
Yeah, and like, how do you call penalties in that game? Like,
how do you call like holds and picks?
Yeah, like holds. How do you call it? Like you don't know.
Like
the refs are right there. Like,
hey, Cole Kmet would like that. He won't get flagged for picks.
Exactly. I'd like to see one of those.
I didn't know he was there. I just stopped and the guy ran into me. I didn't know he was coming.
When was the last fog game? Like early 2000s or some shit? Excuse my language.
Yeah, no, that's what I was talking about, Michael. It's like in the Fog Bowl, like I don't know how you watch that game, like in person. I watched it on TV and you could barely keep up with it. Hell, the commentators definitely couldn't because they're watching the screen because they couldn't see from their vantage point the press box. Like, well, we can't see anything from the press box. So how did the fans? Yeah, everyone get ready. JB is up next in about a minute and a half, and you'll hear him drone on about the Detroit Lions and all their grit and how great their backup players are. I know it's a good show, so make sure you tune in and hear about them Lions, the number 1 seed.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They feeling good, ain't they?
Now they are the best team in the NFC and arguably the NFL.
Well, you can't say that now. You got those bum ass Chiefs.
You're telling me that that's not an argument that the Detroit Lions are better than the Chiefs?
Oh no, I believe they are, but it's because they're the Super Bowl champs. People would be like,
"Hey, I'm going to do what the Lions fans do. We're kings of the North until we're not. Well, Kansas City are Super Bowl champs until they're not."
Yeah, that's the only reason why I say it because if them Kansas City be like, no, we won the Super Bowl, nobody beat us. Like it's like, yo, chill.
Well, we know their head coach isn't going to get fired. He may retire, but he's not getting fired.
But
to see what happens in Dallas, guys. We got about 30 seconds left, so everyone get ready to go watch JB. Hope you all have a great weekend. Hope you all stay warm, stay safe. If you're driving in the bad weather, please remember it's not June. You can't go speeding down the ice road at 93 miles an hour, not in a ditch.
See, that's
Seatbelt
why,
save
that's why I
lives.
go 92.
Drive like Rob. Be a grandpa. There we go. All right. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday in the morning show. We'll see you on the weekend on all the other shows. Have a great one, guys. JB is next.